Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. I understand there was a slight delay between my last upload and this one, but real life decided to kick me square in the dick, and we are back on schedule. So let's begin today's video by talking about my new obsession, Project Ascension, a World of Warcraft mod. I understand that a lot of you probably come here specifically for Median XL content, and I do know that a new season has come out. I did play it a little bit on launch day, but right now this particular mod really has my attention, and I just can't pull myself away from playing it, so I figured I would share with you guys some of the fun that I've been having, so maybe you can join with me later on down the road. In today's video, it's going to be broken down into 2 or 3 smaller parts, going over the basics of the mod if you're interested in trying it yourself, and some of the cool things that has really caught my attention with the mod and really made me prefer this currently over anything else that I could play right now. Why don't we go ahead and jump in game so you guys can see exactly what really has my attention and why I'm currently obsessed with it. Hopefully maybe drag a couple of you in to play with me as well, okay? Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe down below if you haven't already. I will see you in game and in the next video, okay? I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome in game, guys. We are here on my dwarf. If you hear some fan noises in the background, I do apologize. It's getting closer and closer to the summer months, and I need these things on not to melt. So I do apologize if you do hear them in the background, but let's go over the basics of the game so you can get an understanding of what this mod has to offer you. I'm going to go ahead and open up the character creation or character customization interface by pressing N. As you can see, 3 or 4 here. You can see stat allocation, character advancement, and reset talents and spells. We're gonna go ahead and go to stat allocation so you guys can see this really quick. So as you level in this game, you get raw stats which you can allocate between strength, stamina, agility, intellect, and spirit. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in agility and strength, since in my current build I am a mutilate rogue. I need as much attack, power, and crit as possible. Let's go ahead and go to the character advancement tab. Now this looks a little bit unfamiliar, I'm sure, to a lot of people. So this is basically a custom version of the Wrath of the Lich King talent tree imported into the vanilla timeline. So you guys can see just how complex this game can get, but it also allows people like me who like to theorycraft and really make the game play in the way that I want to. It has almost endless customization and open-endedness, so I really like that about that. So very basic stuff here. You get spells and talents. You get talent essences, which are the purple ones as you level, and you get ability essences as you level as well. So you can see here on the right that you have access to every spec of every class. Now that is the classless WoW selling point of this particular mod. You can craft a character pretty much in any way, shape, or form that you see fit. So if you want to be like a resto druid, but then you want to like switch out into a retribution paladin and maybe have some lightning bolts from elemental shaman, you can do that. It may not be as effective as some other things in the game, but ultimately it really doesn't matter. This mod really favors uniqueness and flavor over raw power. So just to give you guys an idea of what you can work with, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my Assassination Rogue part of my talent tree. So if I click the spells, it opens all the spells available to my class. So you can see I've got Eviscerate, Slice and Dice, Meditate, Expose Armor, Garrote, Ambush, and so forth. This is the Wrath of Lich King talent tree. If I go over into talents, you can see I have like Hunger for Blood, Cut to the Chase, which were not added until Wrath of Lich King, if I do remember right, but this is a Mutilate Rogue, which was also part of the Burning Crusade. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, well, that's OP, you can make the most, broken class in the game, and you can. The only thing is the developers of this mod have made sure that the dungeons and the raids have custom mechanics, actually. They have redone some of the bosses in here to make them far more challenging, and the numbers and the damage that they output, like the life and the damage done to the tanks and the AoE damage done to the raid, is vastly multiplied, basically to combat the fact that you can build a very powerful character, kind of just combining all the best talents and skills of one thing and kind of mashing them into this super beast of a character. So looking at my character specifically, this is an Mutilate Rogue that uses Mutilate to generate as much combo points as possible, to then spam Eviscerate as much as possible. So very basic class, but also very powerful. So I have put some talents here in the Assassination Rogue, and as you can tell, I've got some of these tiers that are blank. This might look a little weird to some of you, because in Classic WoW, for reference, these are actually tier gated. So you have to put enough points in each tier to move on to the next one. Now this one, it does the same thing, but by level gating it instead. So level 10, you unlock the first row, 15, you unlock the second row, 20, you unlock the third row, and so on and so forth down to the max level. So what that means is you can go universally across any talent tree. Let's say you're level 30, you can go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can get down to this row on any of these other talent trees. So that means you can pick and choose, put as many points into things as you want, as long as you have the appropriate level. So you don't actually have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. This opens the doors to much more customization and much more character creation options going down in the future. So that is the basics of the character creation itself. I'm going to jump to the next section here, which is the other big selling point and a very, very key back-end function part of this mod to really flesh a character out, and it adds a lot of end-game depth. So we're going to go ahead and cut to the next section, where we're going to go over the random enchant system of this game. Alright guys, so we're going to go over the second most important part of the game, and this is the mystic or random enchant part of the gearing process. So as you play the game and you acquire gear either through open world killing of monsters, dungeons, or raids, your gear has a chance of rolling with a random enchant, anywhere from a white all the way up to a legendary, which we will go over here in just a minute. The reason is really important because this can either completely change the way a skill functions or highly specialize a certain character into doing exactly how you want to play and doing exactly what you want, and making it that much more powerful outside of what a combination of skills and talents could otherwise. So the piece of gear that I have here, Elm of Endless Rage. Puncturing Wounds, the equip Puncturing Wounds, excuse me, is the random enchant that's on this item. So increase the crit chance of backstab and mutilate. So the way that I personally acquired it is actually buying a piece of gear that's extractable with the random enchant on it. So you can have up to 3 random enchants of the same one on gear, except for legendaries. So you can only have 1 legendary per character. So you can hyper focus on specific ones that enhance certain talents or skills that you're already using. So if I go over here to the Ancient Enchanting Altar and open up, you're presented with this interface here. Mystic Orb, Mystic Rune, and Mystic Extract are what we're looking at. Mystic Orbs are used for enchanting gear with enchants that you already know from your catalog. Mystic Runes are used for randomly re-rolling an enchant on an item, and Mystic Extracts you acquire by using enough Mystic Runes until this bar fills up, and then it rolls over and gives you one for every, like, I think 5 to 6, maybe 7 Mystic Runes you use. So I'll give it a demonstration really quick of exactly how this works. So if you take an item from your inventory and put it in here in this slot, you can see I have the Relentless Strikes random enchant on it. Now how I could change this is either I could go over one that I already know, let's say Redoubt, if this is one I really needed. I could hit Collection Reforge and you're prompted with this. Collection Reforge cost 6 Mystic Orbs. You want to continue? Yes. Perfect. Now it goes from Relentless Strikes to Redoubt. If I'm a tank and I need that specific one, you can use it. So now it has the Redoubt random enchant on it. Really cool. Well, if you don't have Mystic Orbs and you still want to try to roll, that's not a problem. You can use your Mystic Runes. So if I hit Reforge item, what it'll do, it'll randomly re-roll this enchantment for a chance at a different one. So it re-rolled it from Redoubt to Frost Forged Weapon. Your melee auto attacks deal an additional 6% damage as Frost. So if this one was really good for my build and I really wanted it, what I would do is I would extract the item, or extract the enchant off the item itself by using the Mystic Extract. And what that would do is it extract this specific random enchant, put it in my catalog, for when I need it later, I can put it on a different piece of gear. It's very important to figure out exactly how you want to play your character and look for specific REs that hyper focus your character, because if you go a little bit too broad with it, yes, you'll still be effective, but not as effective as you could be. And the fact that you can make these characters very, very, very powerful. In some cases, the developers of this mod have actually made custom mechanics in dungeons and raids, and have tuned the damage, the HP values, stuff like that, to an extreme level, actually, at some points, that make it very, 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 very challenging to get through some of these raids. So if this looks a little bit too crazy for you and you think like, oh man, we're just gonna break the game because our characters are so strong, well, the developers have thought about that. So don't think you're gonna be coming in here breaking the game right away, but I would really, really highly suggest getting into here, trying to figure out exactly the fantasy of your character, the thing you've always wanted to play, and see if you can make it in here. I can't even tell you how many countless late nights and endless hours just staring at the pages of random enchants and gear, and different talent combinations and skill combinations to really come up with exactly how I want to play. And if you're someone who really likes theory crafting, if you've played things like Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Path of Exile, Grim Dawn, things like that, I really, really want to stress that you should give this mod a try. I really think you guys would like it. So this will be the last section of the video, really quickly just going over exactly what has kept me completely obsessed with this mod currently. So we are actually in the alpha version of the TBC for this mod. They are going to be releasing the Burning Crusade version of their mod fairly soon, and I was able to get into the alpha to test some dungeons, some builds, some specs, and the Burning Crusade was hands down my favorite game ever. That's really where I got my first experience of pushing raids, getting some realm firsts, some realm seconds, some realm thirds on a couple kills through the Mount Hyjal and Black Temple way back in actual retail Burning Crusade. I really went hard. I did the whole neck beard, ruin your life, don't talk to friends, let relationships die type thing, specifically in Burning Crusade. And I'm really, really excited to see exactly what this mod can bring to that version of the game that I absolutely loved. So the biggest thing here on the TBC alpha, as you can tell, there's like orcs and Draenei running around, and I'm a human. So this is cross-faction. You can party cross-faction if you want. You can't raid or guild, or you can raid and dungeon cross-faction. You can't guild in cross-faction come live, but right now you can, just because it's an alpha, so they need all the testing bodies they can get. So still a similar thing here. The character advancement sheet has been modified heavily to be a little bit cleaner. You only get 4 primary stats this time, but as you can tell, the interface is quite a bit different. It's a lot cleaner, and you get more ability points and more talent points because you can get up to level 70. The coolest thing about this specifically system is that you can share your builds now with people in the community, so it's not an isolated effort. You can really put like a combined brain power of however many people want to thumbs up your build and download it and activate it and see how it works, and you can really build on it as a community. And I really commend them for putting something like this in the current game, because the fact that this can be so open-ended, you might get stuck or you might get confused of not how to continue or how to really shape a build. You can look at other people for inspiration and tool that to really fit how you want to play. The biggest and the most important thing about this is the fact that some of the random enchants have been changed, and this expansion alpha really supports playing anything you want, even more so than the current version of the mod. So things like, oh gosh, let's see, what's a good one? Unbound Drain Life, for example. Your Drain Life is transformed into Drain Life, parentheses, Unbound Drain Life, giving it a conal targeting type. So instead of a little beam like most Drain Life, it turns into a cold of cone Cone of Cold that you can channel and drain life from a big AoE thing. Crazy cool, right? Super awesome. Things like Compound Power. Your successful steady shots and arcane shots now reward a combo point, and Slice and Dice now also increases your ranged attack speed. So you can get things from the Rogue talent tree and skill set that directly affects hunters. Just things like this, man. I've probably had access to the TBC alpha for about 2 weeks, and I've probably put 150 hours into making new builds and just whacking these dummies. I've done a couple dungeon tests, but for the most part, it's just literally been sitting here, racking my brain on how to get the most out of every build I can, trying crazy unique things like melee hunters that pop in and out of cat form, that like shoot lightning bolts. It's unbelievable the amount of customization you can do now, specifically in the TBC. And I can't even begin to express how excited I am to see how the raids feel in this, how the dungeons feel. I've done a couple of heroics, and they are brutally tough. I feel like this mod and this expansion is going to be extraordinarily difficult, but incredibly rewarding. So if you guys are looking for something to really sink your time into, I would really, really highly suggest checking this out. I'll leave a link in the description of the video below to the homepage. Give these guys some love. Go download it. Give it a try. Get the alpha. Get sunk in. And I cannot suggest it enough, guys. Please don't let this mod pass you by. It's extremely fun. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you for watching. If you have made it this far, I do appreciate it. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe again. I will see you in the next video, more than likely with some more World of Warcraft Project Ascension madness. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.